From the News Channel 5 Network and AARP, this is AARP Connected.
It's a great day to be connected. Hi, I'm your host, Mia McNeil, and welcome to AARP Connected, a show created to share, inspire, address important issues, and empower you to choose how you live as you age. As we do in each episode of AARP Connected, we will explore a topic that impacts all Tennesseans and especially older ones. Today, we will discuss the things that you can do to age in your own home. In just a few minutes, we'll have a special guest joining us, an expert who will share tips and resources for making your home more age-friendly. But before we get into that conversation, we like to kick things off with a segment we call Things You Need to Know.
Car repairs are a fact of life for anyone with a vehicle. Though most mechanics are trustworthy, some are out to make a quick buck by providing services you don't want or need. Here is how you can avoid fraudulent auto repairs. Ask questions and don't be pressured into making on-the-spot decisions. Technicians may try to upsell you services that aren't critical to your car's performance. Take your time, do some research, and call a trusted friend if you are not sure what to do. Even when it's a small job, make sure to get a written estimate from the mechanic before they start working on your car. This way, you have a legal recourse if they charge you for work you never approved. And don't be afraid to get a second opinion at a different shop. A good mechanic will show you their work. Be suspicious if they refuse to show you what they are doing. For more fraud tips, go to aarp.org/fraudwatchnetwork.
If you want to ensure your home is ready to age with you, here are some things you can do now so that your home will fit your needs for years to come. Make moving around your home safer by adding brighter lighting, handrails in the bathrooms, and non-skid rugs throughout. Installing smart home technology, which can include voice activation, can help you do things like turn on the lights, adjust your thermostat, raise and lower window blinds, as well as lock and unlock your front door. To help navigate dark outside areas, install motion sensing lights to brighten up entranceways. If you're thinking about remodeling, focus on the bathroom. Turning your step-in shower into a zero-threshold shower will not only give you easy access, but can also provide strong resale value. For more homeowner tips, go to aarp.org/home-family.
And finally, recently, I was one of hundreds of AARP employees and volunteers from all 50 states who visited Capitol Hill to urge elected officials to support family caregivers. We visited the office of our Tennessee members of Congress, asking for their support of the Credit for Caring Act. Did you know that there are nearly 1 million unpaid family caregivers right here in Tennessee? And according to a recent poll, 1 in 5 voters ages 50 plus cite financial stress as a top of mind issue. AARP is working to get the Credit for Caring Act passed, which would help cover the $7,200 that many families spend yearly on out-of-pocket caregiving costs. AARP research has shown that most Americans want to be able to age in their homes. And that's especially true here in Tennessee. But many homes weren't built with the needs of older adults in mind. So that creates an entire set of challenges and literally obstacles. But there are things you can do. We're happy to have Universal Design expert Richard Duncan joining us on the show today. Richard is the executive director of the R.L. Mace Universal Design Institute. The Institute is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting the concept and practice of accessible and universal design. This includes all aspects of design, but today we'll be talking about how you can retrofit some important design elements into your current home. Thanks for being with us, Richard.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about your role at the R.L. Mace Universal Institute and what exactly it does.
Well, you gave a good introduction. Thank you for that. We are about improving the practice of accessible and universal design so that the places we live, and the places we work, the places we recreate, and the products that are in them can be used by everybody, regardless of age or ability or even circumstance.
So more and more we hear experts describing the housing situation for older Americans as a crisis. Why is that?
Well, there's a couple of factors, of course. So you have first the aging demographic, which you know and a lot of your listeners know about. And you've also mentioned the fact that most older adults live in traditional homes and housing built over the past decades, not designed to accommodate us. As we grow old, our abilities change. And our vision changes, our hearing changes, our stamina, balance, all those kinds of things change. Our homes aren't changing with us, so that's creating a problem. What's also happening is that as we live in these older homes, we're not necessarily making choices early on to improve the situation for ourselves. We're waiting too long. We're waiting until maybe a crisis happens. So bad things happen when you wait too long to make changes. It's a quiet crisis because we kind of live these smaller and more dangerous lives all along until something bad may happen. And we're not necessarily lobbying on Main Street to protest the fact that we don't feel secure in our bathrooms. We're kind of living these quiet lives, often years or decades prematurely, because our houses aren't helping us.
Mm-hmm. And we know that these issues have a ripple effect when it comes to older adults and their experiences. Can you talk a little bit more about that and who's impacted by this crisis the most?
Yeah, well, usually think it starts with the individuals, right? Is it grandma, grandpa, or one of a relative or something who's having these issues in their home, but it also extends into these other areas. So while they're having trouble climbing stairs, who's helping them? Is it their spouse? Is it some other older person in the same house? And those two people may be impacted themselves. One older person helping another older person. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they can both get into trouble, so it's rippling that way, for sure. And also, it's paid and unpaid caregivers. It's unpaid caregivers, maybe family members, who are assisting with people at stairs, in kitchens, and in bathrooms, who may also be injured, but they're also having unpaid time off from work to provide that assistance. Again, the home is not helping, and the unpaid time off is what they have to do to help the older individual manage in their home.
Well, I can already tell this is going to be the start of a fantastic conversation. I'm excited to hear more, so I can't wait for you to tell us more. But first, we need to take a short break. When we return, we'll hear more from Richard about making your home age-friendly. Come right back. Welcome back to AARP Connected. We're talking with our guest today, Richard Duncan from the R.L. Mace Universal Design Institute, about how you can age safely in your home. So we talked a little bit about some of the things that are going on and the ripple effect. Tell me how we got to the point where this is actually considered a legitimate housing crisis.
Yeah, so we know about the demographic, we know about the number of older adults that are living in these traditional homes causing these problems. We're also still building homes, largely the way we always have for the past decades. So changes need to happen on that end. And I think in private sector and public sector, service delivery has to reflect this growing population of older adults and provide more information and resources to help folks either find new, better housing, or remodel their existing housing to do a better job that way. We have to help older adults plan a little bit more in advance. Maybe in their 50s, maybe by age 60, have a kind of a plan in place for what's going to happen with their housing retirements in addition to their financial retirements.
Housing retirements, I got to put that in the memory bank.
Yeah.
So you are with R.L. Mace Universal Design Institute, but what is universal design?
Well, it's an approach to design that emerged in the 1980s after years and decades of work in accessible design, which is really focusing just on individuals with pretty severe disabilities. It was coined by the guy who we named our institute after, Ron Mace, who was a practicing architect in North Carolina, who was a wheelchair user, and he began to see, the differences between designing more broadly in beneficial ways as opposed to the kind of narrowly framed accessible design. In housing, what it really comes down to is designing homes that have built-in features that are higher function, but that have a real mainstream appearance. So it's not about building really different housing that looks different from other homes in the neighborhood. It's about just building in a more integrated way, high function features that make it easier for people to use throughout their lifespan.
Tell me about what some of the day-to-day problems, what are some of the day-to-day problems that occur with older adults if they are living in your traditional homes?
Well, a lot of conversations start with stairs. Whether you have stairs coming into your house or stairs within your house, many of our homes have them, and those can be real problems as we grow older. Again, our balance changes, our stamina changes, our strength changes, and stairs may not even be designed well. They may not be designed with handrails on both sides. So we use stairs less. When we use stairs in those circumstances, we maybe have to use them in awkward ways that are dangerous. Stairs are the most dangerous part of any building. With homes, it's no exception. Falls can take place there. So as we're not able to leave our house as often, that can be a problem. Not being able to go up and down the stairs to maybe where our bedroom and the master bathroom is can also be a problem. It really reduces our lives, these smaller and smaller lives. We do things that are more dangerous. So stairs is one key area. Bathrooms is probably number two. A lot of our bathrooms are designed compactly, maybe efficiently, but not so well for us as we grow older. The arrangement of the fixtures is not so good. A lot of our bathrooms are quite small, and so getting in there with a walker, getting in there with a caregiver who's assisting, or maybe even getting in there and using it if you use a wheelchair, all virtually impossible in many of the bathrooms that we have. So making accommodations, making renovations, or if you're able to seek out a new home, finding a home that has a better situation with the bathroom would be really useful. In kitchens, it's also an issue. Lighting, which we'll talk about later, is a big issue in kitchens because they're often underlit, and so you're not able to see the things you used to be able to see easily. Our eyes need so much more light as we grow older. So it really inhibits our ability to prepare food and to clean up adequately, to see the controls on the appliances, to see the labels on jars, right? All those things happen. And flooring is another area that can cause problems. If you have lots of area rugs, there can be tripping hazards. Those need to be attended to. So those are some of the things in most of our homes that really can cause problems.
So tell me about, what do you think are the broader benefits to actually building new homes with universal design elements?
Yeah, so we think about the benefits to the individuals. We've mentioned the fact that our home environments and the problems we have with them can ripple out to other folks within our family or caregiving structure. Other things that can happen is that if we're designing homes better, or we're modifying our home to make it more useful to us, we can have better health outcomes, better physical health outcomes. It could be that we're falling less, we're causing fewer strains in our spouses who are helping us around as well, and that's terrific. What is less well understood, I think, the fact is that mental health outcomes can be a really huge benefit as well. We talk about social isolation. It's a real thing that can happen to a lot of older adults as you live in your homes, because these traditional homes can be limiting factors towards getting out or getting up and down. It can be a real issue with even socializing. So a home that you can leave more often, more easily, you don't have to wait for your nephew to come once a week, can mean we can get to see people and do what we would be liking to do anyway. Being able to maintain your activities and meaning and purpose is also part of that whole package. And for each of us, it's a different answer. What's going to be meaningful to you or I might be different from someone else. So being able to continue your hobbies. Maybe it's gardening outside. Maybe for you, housekeeping is the big deal for your life. Maybe it's other kinds of activities within the home. A better designed home will let you continue to do that, also helping with your mental health.
What do you think that we can do if we feel that our house has become a dangerous place, or if it's limiting what we'd like to do? I know that there are a number of older homes that people move into, or people who are presently aging in their homes, but what can we do to fix it if we need to?
Well, one good place to start, at whatever age, of course earlier is better, right? If you're doing it at age 80, it can be helpful, but you have fewer choices than if you're doing it at age 60 or 70, is to do some kind of an assessment. Assess your house to figure out how well it's working for you or not. And as you know, AARP does have some good home assessment checklists. I'd advise people to get a hold of that. It's just an idea generator, just to help them kind of take a new and a different look at their home than maybe they have been up until then. So are the stairs working? That may prompt you to be thinking about things. How about the lighting in your home? How about the flooring? Take that assessment, and then you can draw some conclusions for what things might need to be changed. Maybe it's the entry. Maybe it's stuff in the kitchen. Maybe it's you don't have a bathroom on the bathroom or a bedroom on the first floor. All those things can be factors. And then you have to figure out, okay, how much is that going to cost if you want to be remodeling it? Weighing a lot of these cost factors and ease of change factors to consider whether it's worthwhile investing the amount of money you might need to renovate your home versus seeking out some other options in the community. So then you have to find qualified professionals, and there are ways you can get a hold of those folks. We have information on our websites. We actually have guides to hiring contractors with experience. That may be helpful, and getting some good advice, getting some different pricing on this, to start to weigh the options of, do I remain or do I move? Do I move or do I improve? Those are some of the things to think about. And think about your house. Is it too big for you? Is it too old? Is it going to be hard to maintain? Would a smaller home, would a newer home make more sense elsewhere? Or even something as radical as, gee, maybe I can put a small dwelling in my backyard where I have space. Maybe it's an accessory dwelling is what I might be thinking about, and I can move into that and have a family member move into the existing older house that's the main house. So all kinds of options that taking the first steps and going down that road will make a difference.
Well, now you have me rethinking my own home situation.
Yeah, right.
But so much great information. We need to take a quick break, but stick around because Richard and I will continue to talk about how universal design can make your home more livable as you age. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to AARP Connected. We have a few minutes left with our guest today, Universal Design expert Richard Duncan. So, tell us what type of assistance and resources are available for homeowners or renters if they want to make changes to their home.
Well, the good news is that there's lots of resources out there. The bad news is you may have to hunt a little bit to find them. Many counties and many areas have resources available, but they may not be widely known, so you may have to do a little bit of hunting. One place that that someone might look, first of all, is your local council on aging. Many communities have councils on aging. They are at least referral resources. They can direct you to resources that they know about, and often they're very well informed. Some councils on aging actually have some funds to assist with installing a grab bar or installing a handrail on stairs or helping with lighting. It really changes from place to place, and that's one of the challenges, is that you may find from location to location a very different picture, but that's one place to start. Another in the kind of aging spectrum would be on a slightly larger scale, regional scale, is an area agency on aging. They also get funding, I know in Tennessee, to make changes in people's homes, and they may be able to direct you to who's receiving that funding, who's using their funding to make changes in homes. That would be an excellent place to start. Another thing is that Habitat for Humanity. Many of the local affiliates have home repair programs, so seek those out. Some may be doing that. Maybe you could encourage them to help you as well.
Wonderful information. And finally, we know that about 80% of our AARP members, they want to be able to age in place in their homes. What are 3 things that they can do right now to make sure that their current residence is age-friendly?
Avoid tripping in your house. Be very careful with your area rugs. Eliminate clutter and eliminate wires across surfaces that you may walk in. We have to pay a lot more attention to those things as we grow older. A simple thing also is reorganizing your kitchen cabinets. We used to be able to easily get up to those high cabinets and get things down. At age 30, at age 70, not so easy. So bring those things down to a more reachable level. And finally, this is going to sound odd, bed safety. A lot of our beds are unbelievably high, 3 feet high or more. These big, thick mattresses. We really want to get those mattresses down to about 2 feet above the ground at the top of that, so we're not having our feet dangling as we sit on the edge of it. We don't want to be hopping into bed or hopping out of bed. So that's a simple bed safety thing that people can think about.
I had never thought about that. And now I'm going to have to rethink my mattress situation too.
Right.
Well, before we wrap up, I do want to share that AARP offers a lot of information, and you know this better than anyone. We have tips and tools that are available for making your home age friendly, and that's on our website. Check out tips to download a copy of our comprehensive home fit guide. Just go to aarp.org/homefit. Richard, thank you so much for joining us today. I learned a lot, and I'm sure that our viewers learned a lot also. And of course, I hope folks will visit your site for the resources and check out the free AARP Home Fit Guide. It has been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
If you'd like to connect with AARP, we've got some fun community events coming up. We've got several events coming up in August. On the 13th, we have a special webinar to help support grandparents raising grandchildren. We also have an in-person event in Clarksville to discuss caregiving and the 2024 election. A couple days later, on August 15th, we have our first Music for Seniors session where you can learn to play an instrument. I can't wait to do that myself. And at the end of the month, we've got a pickleball clinic in Jackson, so get your pickleball paddles ready. All of these events are free, and you don't have to be an AARP member to participate. Find out more at aarp.org/TN. Stay in the know on all the latest AARP is doing in Tennessee. Connect with us on any of these popular social media sites. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope this has been informative to you. Have a great day, and thanks for being connected.